Hi, I'm Jinx, and welcome to Anyland.
And I'm Delco.
Yes, and welcome to Castle Ravenswich. This is the haunted experience that Delco and I made for, I think it was 2021. Yes, it is our fifth Haunted Woods Trails in that series. We dropped the name Haunted Woods Trails because we don't actually have a trail of hauntedness in any woods. This is Castle Ravenswich. You will be in a castle. And like any good adventure, you start in a tavern. So I'll just kind of quickly go into my point of view here. You start here in the tavern. Delco's not always here. And a little radio. And one thing that kind of makes this different than Ravenswich is the time frame. And I'm looking up the chandelier specifically in the radio over here. We envisioned Ravenswich, the island map and all, to be around 1899-ish. So we kind of basically figured this would be about 50 years later. We wanted to set this, the 50s, the 60s-ish, so that, tech was there. I wanted to do the static TV that we'll see later. So we needed televisions to be invented and electricity. And then the radios, we did a few fun things when you step near them. Hear the static. That segues perfectly into the map. The map of Ravenswich that I had drawn for Ravenswich Isle, the original, I took this and I added something. This island was always here on my map. It was always there, but I hadn't drawn the castle. We didn't have a castle yet, or the bridge. So I added that for this, and vintage 1899 reprint edition. You've been through all here, but tonight we're starting in this building, the tavern. We're going to go into this little courtyard alley and then across the bridge and then into the titular Castle Ravenswich. And this is our bartender. And the map is up there too. What should we cover here? Oh, the intro, I guess. Since you start here where the shadow is, under the chandelier. This is supposed to kind of be like where you were seated and you had come to the pub, the bar, maybe smoking a cigar that you just put out, knocked over the glass. To further let you know 50 years, the 50-year anniversary of the cult mystery, which would have been the original Ravenswich thing. I wrote a little news article. And note, Anyland does not have equal spacing, so I did do all that manually when I wrote it. You can come here and you can read this. It basically recaps some of the events of Ravenswich that we had come up with lore-wise, story-wise, from a news kind of 50 years later perspective. Did it really happen? Did it not happen? Was it as weird as it was? Definitely was cult. And I do kind of mention the claims of gas rising, and it trails off, but the Ravenswich Chronicle, this is a screenshot of the Museum of Ravenswich in the daytime, so you get the background. I cheated. I turned the lights on, the sun up. I set this article as October 31st, Halloween. 19, and then it could say 50 or 60 something, but the ink is smudged, so we didn't need to give an exact date. But here are your notes this evening after you've been drinking and smoking. Check, the town's been clean for decades, post that event. No unusual behaviors for a generation, so that's cool. Castle on the smaller island reported haunted. Missing persons, strange colors of lights from the spire's windows. We'll see that. Castle doors have no handles, so impossible to open. Rumor, once a year on All Hallows Eve, the castle can be entered, and tonight's the night. Oh, sorry. So that kind of sets up our adventure. Tonight's the night, whatever night it is. But theoretically, you've come here on October 31st, 1950 or 60 something. As we like to do, we always do an intro. We like to do an intro where you can just come. There are no actual jump scares here. You can come and hang out. It's a hangout space. You can read our Welcome to Ravenswich intro or disclaimer board that, yes, things are spooky and scary and they will jump out at you and, all that. The same thing as before, as previously, how to turn off your helper light. Well, actually, this is the smooth walking motion and smooth riding. So you want to make sure those are off. So you want to have proper teleporting. But you want smooth riding on because that will allow you to ride on elevators. And then, yeah. So I guess real quick before we actually exit here and go on, I'm going to go into this room. And this is just like our other places. All of our other places have hats and Halloween masks you can don and the teleport potions to our other worlds and an outfit you can put on. This has got a cape and it's purple and it's kind of fun. You just push the button and it automatically equips with the head. You can hit OK to keep it or undo to go back. It's cool. Our guest book, of course. And I made a poster out of that, which I originally made a t-shirt from, so that's fun. Furthering the furniture that we had made in Ravenswich. We kept up with that theme. We used a lot of the same furniture to set the theme. And then more electronics for lighting and such, and fewer candles. So this is, and I'll point it out, very similar to the candlesticks as far as I use the same shapes and whatever, but now it's like a Tiffany lamp with a lampshade. It's electric. So, yeah. A poster of Delco I, and you will see that we are standing in, did we name that? Like a drawing room or something? In the
Lounge.
Lounge, yeah. Lounge, because there's a fireplace in it and a couch, so lounge. We took a picture in front of that because we always like to take a picture of ourselves when we finish, almost kind of, not really an autograph, but it feels like that in a way, right? Mm-hmm. And then you won't need to worry about this, but this door leads outside into a graveyard courtyard. And I'll just point this out real quick. This is where you're going to end up at the very, very end. Because we do like to make our worlds cycle back to the beginning so that if people come late and they're hanging out in the tavern, you go through the map, you get to say, hey, guys, and everyone can enjoy just being there. And you can, laugh it up with everything you've been through. Real haunted houses and haunted experiences do that as well. You always have the central area. So, of course, we have our joke gravestones. You can come here and read them all. Actually, it's been so long since we've been in here hanging out, and this is our follow-up video that we're finally doing. I don't actually remember what most of them are.
I couldn't really come up with any.
Right. I remember that too. We kind of, I don't know, there wasn't much. Rip the Sacred Timeline. So I remember that was from the Loki TV series.
Yeah. Current events.
Yes. Rip Faith in Humanity. It was already pretty low, so I mean that's just freaking everything, right? I mean, oh, Rip your JobBot avatar. Oops. So that's when you made this world. Is when you made this awesome avatar.
Mm-hmm. Yep, original design.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then my best intentions. Wait, does that really say mine? No, own person. Okay,
it's
so
own person. Yeah.
That's classic. Love it, of course. I was like, wait, I don't remember an inside joke about that. Okay, and then Rip, Delco's ideas for gravestone jokes. It's hard to keep this up for 5 years. There you go. That explains it right there. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're right. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell what we did last year, and we have yet to finish for this year. My intention, but I don't think we're going to have any headstones in there. I don't think there's room for it, right? So we don't have to worry about jokes.
Breaking tradition in multiple ways.
Multiple ways, actually. It might not even loop back to the beginning. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but it will finish the Ravenswich trilogy, of which this is the second part. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, of course, what? Oh, yeah. Onward. Yeah, this is just that's the castle. I did a facsimile. Well, no, that was your model, scale model. I didn't make that.
The scale model is the model.
Yes, that's right, because you made a scale, at least one scale model, if not 3, and you blew up the one to make the real one, which we'll see in just a moment. But yeah, we started April 2021, just kind of prototyping some ideas. We're getting in the mood. The song Enter by the Birthday Massacre was kind of my unofficial theme song as we started building this, because it's kind of chill, kind of spooky. It mentions like an Escher staircase and a few things that really fit Castle Ravenswich, I would say.
Sure.
Yeah, and of course, 2 weeks before Halloween is when we debuted. But yeah, we usually build August or October. Cool. So yeah, we will go onward and vacate the tavern. Here we go. Of course, our classic doors. So here we are, Blood Arrow, tone on tone with the reddish orange carpet to remind you we have a guest book, because that's always fun. So yeah, again, with the electric lights on the walls, the sconces, just, yeah. Because you had those in the Museum of Ravenswich, and I love them. So we had to reuse them.
New technology.
Totally. But then still keeping with like the beams and a lot of the wood for the room, because we still wanted this to feel old. It needed to feel like it fit in Ravenswich. It couldn't be like too high tech or anything. So yeah. All right, let's move along. This door permanently open, just so you don't have to deal with any craziness. Before we exit, I just want to point out Mr. Bartender. First of all, hello. Well, sometimes he'll say hello there. But as you approach him, you get a bubble. Bus left already. I'm closing up. Cold night, eh? Probably snow again soon. Okay. Of course, he's just a few sub things because he's cleaning up. He's always looking at you. When near, just emits the zero gravity thought bubble, speech bubble. I wanted to do a few more lore intensive bits. There it is. I wanted NPCs that would talk, but that doesn't fit too well. So just that's all face view, just like his head is, so that as you turn, it doesn't look like a rectangle in space. It actually looks like you can read it no matter where you are. The other thing I promised in our Ravenswich video that NPC heads do not break. Oh, it's fun. They don't break behind their neck. So he'll face me. I'll face you. He will not twist his neck like an owl. I basically added some when neared blocks. Nice. So that when you are neared him, and I think the block is just beyond this wall, it'll send a tell to the sub thing that's controlling his when look face nearest, or face view. So it's always you. And then it tells it to stop. So if you try to get behind him too far, as you saw, he'll stop trying to crane his neck behind you, and he'll just snap back to looking forward. I did that with another NPC we'll see in the foyer. Just trying to ramp up the NPCs to make them a little more believable that we did. Yeah. Something about those glasses, I feel like I was thinking of 1950s style spectacles when I designed them.
It invokes that.
I was trying. Because, yeah, that's right. I was looking for, bartenders' clothes that were stereotypical of the era. And, of course, there's no, uniform or anything like that. So I was like, well, tie, vest, dress shirt, sleeves rolled up because he's working. I'm like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so I guess we'll step out here. And hear that radio keeps going off when neared with the static, which is cool. What do we have here? We had one light on and one light off. And then there, oops, I did it again. Another one of those Ravenswich cloaks on a hanger that makes you wonder, is there somebody there? And it's more dark because that light is off and that one's on. But no, it's just another cloak. Stained glass like before. I open the fancy door, and we come to a courtyard. A courtyard that looks very much like we're in Ravenswich because, guess what? We are. But we also just reused all the assets we made, the previous year because it's perfect. We already had it. That slams with a nice spooky slam. And one thing to point out immediately, not a gas lantern anymore. Electric. Further subtly selling that it might be a little more in the future. So sky is not pitch black. It kind of looks like it's really overcast. So that's a thing. We'll see why in a minute. Your awesome fountain fits in this courtyard just perfectly. It really just... It's cool because even in VR, it's very silhouetted. Because we have a couple of bright lights. And then it's dark gray on dark gray. So it fits there. I can even see silhouetted are the ravens on top, which is fun.
Of course.
And they caw when you get close, which is fun. Another one of these blockades, as I mentioned in our Ravenswich video, it's to sell the idea that there's more there. You just can't get there. So you feel like there's more to the city, that you're actually in a space. We also see snow piles. You're like, but if we're in like New England and it's October, would there be snow? Well, yeah, there could be. I remember when I was a kid, I went up to upstate New York in early October and we had a blizzard, which was weird. So New England on the coast, yeah, sure, why not? Why not?
Yeah. We wanted to do more snow.
Yeah.
But we didn't get around to it. It's
Right.
hard.
It's hard, especially...
We were modifying the assets.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah,
want to
snow
go crazy with that. Yeah.
This is just the intro.
Yeah, this is just the intro. You're not
There's a
meant
lot
to
more.
linger, right? In fact, we're supposed to go this way, and it says, walk this way. Oh, we got a quick glimpse of the castle from here, but I don't think anyone ever notices. I'm not going to point it out too much, but you can see there's a bridge up there. And again, just Ravenswich has verticality. We designed it that way. We like it. So that's why you have balconies up there and all that. Anyway, go through here. And this is fun because, again, you can kind of see the castle and whatever. But grading with some vines. More vines coming up. More vines coming up. Okay, you're here. All right, if you look this way, and I'll point it out, these pillar guys that blockade you from being able to walk further. We did that in Ravenswich as well, so still on theme, but there's a street. You can't get there, but it implies there's more. And in fact, if you look at that map, you can see that if you did go that way, you'd snake around and then you'd end up the woods and eventually the church and the rest of Ravenswich proper. So that was our whole intent. To really, you come out of the tavern and go, I'm in Ravenswich still. So I think it worked. Barrel, of course, all that. Another filler door, nothing to do with these are our, windows with the glow inside, which we pointed out in the Ravenswich video. We're using that just more of Ravenswich and everything. So another interesting bit, I recolored these vines brown so they look dead, and that's it. Just they look dead. So you already saw the green ones, and then suddenly to see those, you won't see them again. They're just kind of like, and then if we look in this big archway, snow. It is snowing. And I'll get a little closer. Ooh. Spooky sound, amping up the ambiance. This is going to be dark for sure on flat screen. I hope it comes out pretty well. But you come out of here with the snow. There's a bridge. And then there's the castle. Castle Ravenswich. First thing I'll do is just go down to the middle of the bridge. Because I want to trigger... Yes! So if you backtrack to the tavern, it'll be snowing there too. We took extra care to make it feel like it just started snowing. Also with the ambiance, you can hear some ocean. Because we're a bridge over the ocean. All right. Now you definitely have to explain everything, right?
Yeah, sure. This is probably the largest set piece we've ever done.
Absolutely.
Not just this way, but this way as well, because they've got the coastline
Oh, of course.
in both directions.
Right.
Ways.
Right, because if you backtrack or look back, we had to... Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Let's see. It's been a while.
I know.
But yeah, this whole castle was a scale model,
Right.
pretty much entirely. I don't think there's any aspect of it that I built at full scale. I just scaled it up. It
Right.
doesn't need to be super high detail,
Right. I think you just slapped on
but
the Ravenswich
yeah,
windows at scale.
just enough little spiky bits, and it gives the illusion of being detailed.
Yes. Yes. And being so far away, I
And
mean, yeah, and dark.
yeah, there's a light fog effect behind the main tower just to give it a little bit extra contrast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it stands
Um,
out.
We had the whole brazier lighting sequence. You're probably looking up when it happened.
Oh.
The braziers light up in sequence. as
Oh,
you
I
walk
did
down
miss
the
that. You're
bridge.
right. Yeah, because not all of them are lit to start with, and they go.
It happens again as you approach.
That's right. The
I
door.
believe.
As we get up there, it lights up. I'll make sure to get that in
So it
view.
goes up there.
Yeah, I wanted to show off those 2 lightning strikes because that is just freaking awesome, and it feels awesome in VR.
And I believe the castle is big enough to actually fit what we ended up doing within its walls. Like, it is to scale.
Right, because
And
it
it's
is.
roughly designed off of the actual wings.
You're right, because with the lighting and then the purple ones up there, which your crazy wing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to show that off. You're right, actually.
Actually,
can't
the
go
wings
all the
came
way.
after the model. We designed
You're
the
right.
wings after the...
No way! That was not intentional at all. It's 2 a.m. Anyland time. Oh, wait, is it every hour? It's every hour.
every hour.
That's
every hour.
okay. So Delco programmed in that bell to go off every hour. We thought it might have been at midnight Anyland time, but clearly not. It's on the hour. So if you're here and the hour transitions, either in real life or Anyland time, because obviously it's the same, you'll hear that. Oh, that's cool. I didn't do that on purpose. That worked out really well. Sweet. Yeah, I guess we'll just go in. But you're right. You did
Sure.
make the scale model long before we built and decided on the layout
It was
at
the
all.
first thing,
Yes.
actually.
Right.
First thing we made.
Right.
the
Yes.
castle.
Cool.
All right.
So here we're going across the bridge. Oh, lights just turned on there. And we got some statuary. You might recognize those 2 statues from the end of the Museum of Ravenswich. I reused some of those. I liked the continuity. I don't consider it like cheating by reusing assets. It's continuity. And then up there we go. And the door is open. No. Love it. Yes. So, like the note said, the doors to the castle do not have handles. And therefore, tonight's the night, Halloween, the doors will open automatically for you. And that's what happened. And your lovely music that just sets the tone.
Same music as the Museum of Ravenswich, but slowed down even further.
Ah, yes. Again, keeping with the themes of everything. And I love all the torches that light up as you come because the castle's kind of beckoning you in. Just nice.
Developed the split color flame.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, particle
Can I get
just alternates
close?
colors. Yeah,
Yes,
you
I can. Yeah, so you might not notice. Well, you should now that we pointed out, but it's so subtle you might not. The bottom part of this flame is more red, and the top is more tan, really, to give a red to orange flame glow with the light center. And just like you said, because you had also made prototypes of colored ones, like blues and purples and jazz. And that was fun.
Yep, there's more up here.
That's right. Oh,
I started doing this everywhere with the split color flames.
yes, it takes 2 particle effects per thing, but it's so worth
Actually,
it.
just one.
Really? Oh, you're changing
It's
states.
just one, but it changes color
Oh,
between
that's
states.
right. That's why we didn't worry about it being too taxing. That's right. So this is kind of blue and pink to get that cool purple. Ah, yes. So this is the pre-foyer entryway. Nothing going on here. Just an entrance. To get in. Did a little. If you recall the Ravenswich symbol, the green one with the things, and I did cross swords on the board just to make it look like a coat of arms kind of thing. Something you'd see it on a castle. Custom new door. And then I added these metal ravens sticky outy bits just to add some more detail. So this will be a teleport door into the foyer. Obviously, we've already built a ton of stuff, so we need to separate things as we do. Extra new thing with these doors, I added a little bit of a delay before you teleport. So the door opens, and there we go. The door opens first, you see it, and then you teleport. So it's not like a all-in-one thing. So here we have the actual foyer of the castle itself. I'll step in for a second to see it. Clearly 2 levels. Big staircase, and it winds this way to some stairs and another couple of levels. That is the lounge we talked about that we took our picture. We're going to go there first. That's a wing. We're not going to go in that wing in this video. I'm saving it for a second video, a follow-up that will do what's called non-essential stuff. That wing is not essential to escaping Castle Ravenswich, and you do need to go through those gates. You need to raise the gate and go through the door beyond there to get to the finale. And you never have to go there if you don't want to. We kind of designed this in a way like a metroidvania in some ways, where we have back passages and passages that lead elsewhere and to backtrack. And that does that for later. You can open up, make that available. It also has a MacGuffin in a museum-y area that you can grab that will make certain spooks and jump scares disappear, so you never get them. Again, not essential for what we're doing tonight, and I will follow up with that on a second video. So you come in here, there's a door there, there is another door there you can't see from here, and there's a door behind the stairs. You can go around behind the stairs, and we have to go there later. As you can see, there's some blood stains, nice carpet, there's a table with some things, and a candle. So that should naturally draw you here. And then you look at this note. The castle is frightfully dark. Always carry a light source. Take this one. That's a note with the Ravenswich symbol Delco made. This is, as one might expect, a light source that you can hold. And the coughing you heard, which triggers when you get close to here, is Castellan. He is the caretaker of the castle, and that's his name. All puns intended. Show him off in a minute. The little coffin bits. It's an old movie homage that I wanted to just have, where a pistol should be in there, and there's no pistol in there, so we'll see that. Let me go to Castellan. As we approach him, he looks at you.
Welcome.
And he says, "Greetings, I'm Castellan, the steward of Castle Ravenswich. The master does not permit visitors, yet you have gained entry on this one night it is possible to do so. You are not the first and will not be the last." So he's got a cat on his shoulder. He's got some crazy hair and a mask. C's embroidered on his collars, his shirt collars. Purple gloves. Walking cane. And again, with him, he follows you, but if you try to go back here, he snaps his head back. He's not going to twist his head backwards to look at you. So another NPC that trying to make him feel a little more real. We will see Castellan, I believe, twice more. Once where he has a hint, and another time in the finale. I'm trying to think. We don't need to go to the kitchen. We don't need to trigger the bathroom. So I guess we'll just go to the lounge to start off. Mm-hmm. As we go back here, oh yeah, there's like an incense thing that you had made.
Right.
Giving off some purple gas, which ties into the Ravenswich lore of the eldritch god blood and the sewers and all that stuff. So I liked the idea of having that around. Like, yep, yeah. You're probably breathing it too. It might not be as dense as being in a sewer, but it's still totally there. So yeah, you can see behind here, and As we approach the lounge, and again, the bloodstains guide you there gently, Castellan disappears. Just a wind-eared block. He's under the floor where he started. And it's just because I want him as an intro. I want you to see him. But I like when, or rather, I don't like when set pieces like that are just meant for a moment stick around forever. Because, I don't know, it just feels weird. So, into the lounge, off the foyer. So, the Ravenswich bookshelves, and some pillars, and nice. And this bookshelf, you won't know till later. The second, probably not the second video. We can take the back path out of the thing.
Sure.
The thing, yeah, it'll just be shorter. That bookcase, I mean, it's real, but it will also move for us. Real quick to point out on the bookcases, previously, when I always had done bookshelves and I was reusing the same bookshelves year after year, all the books were things like this, but they were thick. Just selling the whole low poly look, I didn't care. I didn't think much of it. This year I wanted to refine it a little more, so they're thinner, a little more realistic book size. But then I did this. I made wide rectangles with the white rectangle just a tiny bit above it, and then I used the texture of lines, vertical lines and horizontal that way, just to sell the idea at a glance that those are multiple books pressed against each other. And they're the same color, so maybe they're the same volume. So I did a few variations on that, but I just want to point it out, as we go and refine and make things look better than the previous year's stuff. That lamp was also helping to sell the idea of old and new, because it's electric, but it also has a candle. So it looks like, in case electricity went out, it could still act as a chandelier for the room. I don't think we reused that, but we intended to.
Let's see. Placed 6 times, apparently.
Oh, then we definitely reused it. Interesting. I think this is the only time it really, I don't know, we'll find out, but I feel like this is the only time it really stands out. So yeah, here we have a lounge. One thing about this lounge I just remembered, I thought about when we designed it. I like the step down. Again, we were in Ravenswich, we really like doing verticality with everything. So even though this isn't significant, it's something, and it does help. Delco, you put the curtains up, which added to this arch like crazy. Like, I thought the arch was fine and whatever, but once you put this in, I was like, oh, yes. Because you can just imagine you have guests come in, and that's kind of what that wing is. It's kind of the guest entertainment wing. That's why we're not going through there. You'd bring the guests in here, like some haunted movies, old ones would do. They'd get everyone together. Clue movie comes to mind immediately, but, some of the others. You serve some drinks, or everyone can hang out. And, you could totally picture taking these off and closing the curtain to give everyone a more enclosed feel. So, yeah, that was awesome. We have some trinkets on the mantle, which you might recognize from the Museum of Ravenswich. And let's see what else. Couches. I made new couches with the feet. And these are the Ravenswich style feet I started doing, where they're a little curved. I'm in a chair. I guess I'll sit down. So yeah, we just wanted to update the couch, make it look fancier, because it's a castle. Castle should have more ritzy stuff in it, without getting crazy. The old carpet I remember you used in the Hugo house in Haunted Woods Trails 1.
That's a classic.
It's a classic, and just this carpet that you picked out, the texture, is perfect. It's exactly what it needs to be, honestly.
Yeah.
What else? I guess I don't need this. Don't start a fire. Okay. So yeah, you see another Ravenswich artifact hanging. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a nice desk, bureau, skull, some books, candles, a good light source, of course. The radio is playing music.
The radio. Same music, as per usual.
From the Museum of Ravenswich. But now they're playing it over the
Perfect playing.
airwaves. What?
Yeah, the primary reason being that's the most prominent piano track in the
In
game's audio
Anyland.
library that I can modify.
That actually had a good
Well,
vibe.
slowed down, it works very well. Theme.
Right. Right, because it's not
Fits.
too cheery and happy, and it's just
And it skips a little. It just sounds unsettling.
yes. So this note will start us off. I'll just read it real quick. I fear the master has steered us wrong. The experiments, the errors in judgment. Now the warning signs flash before me, yet it is too late. There are things coming for us, and I have not seen them with my own eyes, but they are here. You must remember the proper rituals. Reality is an illusion. Dispel it. This dagger will reveal the key to doing so, and only that. See. That's like a note from Castellan. He's starting to doubt the master of the castle's plans, which you won't really know everything, but your wing upstairs will start to introduce a lot of that. So, yeah, as he says, cat model with the glowing eyes, because you're in Ravenswich. Yes. So, the dagger. The dagger looks to be tethered, and it's in one of these boxes that used to have artifacts. Again, I'm going to grab it. You have to hold it, and note it has a projected line to make it look like it's actually tethered. It's going to close in 30 seconds, so I'll grab it again. We also did a script on all that, so that, because this is a movable, not a holdable, and it's set so that it snaps back if you let go. And then there are, I think it's around here, actually. I never do this, but I'd like to start doing it. See invisible. Oh, I'm pretty sure it is this, this cube, this red one. That cube, if you try to hold the dagger and run out, as soon as it gets neared and triggers, it'll snap back in there. So you can't steal the dagger. You can't break the whole thing for anybody else. We took a lot of care in making that script. So anyway, as Castellan said, the dagger will reveal the key and only that. So that helps also sell that you don't need a dagger. Don't bother putting it in your inventory. You're not going to stab anybody. Just as soon as you grab it, it reveals the key as instructed. And there it is. So I'm going to grab the key. And it's got particle effect to help you learn in video game fashion that that's an important object. This you might want to put in your inventory. I think you only need it once, but it's good to have. Yes, of course. All of the keys, like it says right here, any keys you collect around the castle shall appear here, but always save what you find in your inventory. See, I didn't even have to explain it. That key wasn't there until I picked it up. That also helps when you're here with friends, because one person can get a key, and keys actually do unlock doors, so people can be locked out of places unless they get it themselves. So if you're trailing a friend and the friend goes ahead and you get locked, you can't get behind a locked door. They find the next key will show up here, and you can grab it from here. There are only a couple of keys. In a metroidvania fashion, like we decided that it would just be very convenient for lots of people if multiple people come in here at once. We're trying to be friendly and nice, so I'm gonna hold this. Oh yeah, it has a grip at this end, not that end. This key, if I remember correctly, opens the door up there, right? So okay, so we'll go there.
The doors are labeled the same.
That's right. That's right. Very important, because we are very smart, but we're also very considerate of everyone. The raven, purple raven, on this key. We're going to look for the door with the purple raven symbol. That's how we know it'll be this key. You're right. We're going back there later. We're not going to the kitchen. We don't have to. So we'll go here. We'll go upstairs. And this is also a glimpse of where we need to be going. This is kind of a portcullis type gate, and you can see with the chained cylinder ostensibly controlling the gate, and there's a door with the Ravenswich banner, but also the Ravenswich, the 4 eyes, and the red background So hint, hint, you might need that key. There's a trick to it, and we're going to show that. So if we turn around here, don't worry about that door. That's just a triggery thing. There's a hallway that way, which we'll go next, but not now. And then there's a hallway this way. And we'll see that door has this marking for a key. I'm trying to think. This is kind of a 3-story, 3-story foyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that door, you can't go through that door. It's chained. And there's something that happens if you go up to it. If you could, this implies that you'd be able to go out somewhere above that entranceway to the balconies at the very entrance of the facade that you designed. So,
which is modeled out there. There are balconies.
Right, they're actual balconies. So, you can't get to them. But if we had wanted to, you could have. Because just like House on Haunted Woods Trails, we thought about it in a realistic fashion of how things would be lined up. So that helps the immersion, because immersion, that's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're just, trying to sell it so it's a little more, it feels a little better, let's say. Also, the two sides are different. This side is this floor there, and then stairs up, and this is stairs up and then floor. Just to, I don't know, not be so symmetrical. I have a problem with that. Everything I do, I like to be symmetrical and normal, and a lot of time, and on the same level, which is why us pushing for verticality and all your reminders really help, because I will just be boring sometimes, and then I'll regret it. So anyway, enough of that. We go up here, and as I say, it's well lit. It's a hallway. This hallway, the downstairs hallway, and the one back there are the same hallway, copy-pasted, basically. I recreated them to be consistent, of course. Oh. And, yeah, so a couple of emitted lights to give off a nice glow in each hallway, so it looks nice. Again, purple carpet, and there we are, the purple Raven logo. So, in video game fashion, I wanted to indicate that you need a key, because if you don't have a key, it's locked. You're not getting there. And we used our ghost/hologram effect we inadvertently discovered in Ravenswich that we used for phased out things to indicate that. So that way it is transparent, which is cool. But it is also frame rate dependent. So right now I'm seeing it perfectly. But if you get some stuff in the frame rate, it'll start to flicker. We
open your inventory.
Oh yeah, actually, when I put you in frame, it starts to flicker a little.
Flickering.
Yeah, well, because
Of course, 60 hertz on the recording, it might be flickering for the recording regardless.
I think that does happen. You're right. Yeah. Even if I try to set it to 90 frames when I save.
Oh, yeah. I can see it on my mirror. It flickers.
Oh, I didn't even look at my mirror actually.
It looks cooler in VR.
It does look way cooler. Oh, it's not flickering on that. It just flickered once. Okay. Anyway, enough of that. So again, that's locked. You can't get in here. But if I take the key and put it where I'm supposed to, you hear it unlock. And then teleport door. Oh, high five. We won't need that anymore. That lock, and this lock, that's never locked, so you don't need the key. Thank you. I'm trying to think how I scripted it. I scripted it like the Haunted Woods Trails 2 scavenger hunt items, where the key is literally the key to making it work. The lock on the door on the other side, you can't hack. It's not just listening for when touches key or something named key. Basically, when the key hits the door recognizes the name of the key, sends a tell that the key picks up. The key goes, oh, I'm touching the door I'm supposed to. Let me go to my state 2 for whatever script's running. State 2 then tells the door to unlock, I believe. So you actually need the key. You can't just, force it. Mm-hmm. You really can't. And that was, I don't know, just what we wanted to do. We wanted to make it not simple, like my first Anyland scripting.
Skeleton key will work.
Right. So You come through here and these barricades, and you come through here and there's the light, another electric light. Except not all electric lights in this are working well, so now it's really dark. I'll hold the torch for a second. I only need it for a second. Actually, I don't need it because up ahead, we smartly did a bright spot to draw your eye, and so you know where you're going. You see some flickering. Again, it might not show up too well. Well, it shows, funny, ironically, if you have a good system or good recording, it won't show up. If you have a poor system, you'll see the flickering. The flickering, which we'll find out, is from this television on the static channel. Channel 3, perhaps. We did this in House on Haunted Woods Trails 3, and I loved it. With the spotlight to spotlight a couch, and there were two dead guys or passed out guys. In this case, there's a head. Oh, there's a head and a body without a head slowly walking towards us. Yup. And he falls. And the blood pours out. And ostensibly that's that head. The body of that head. And yeah, I had that idea. I was like, oh, I want something to walk slowly coming out of the darkness. Some eyes and formaldehyde. His eyes. So, damn, he's still forced to watch TV. Insert joke about rotting your brain here, I guess. Right? Those are the second half of Ravenswich clocks. You can tell because they say 13. And so saying 13 and then having your purple incense thing on the table in the foyer, I think is already implying that you've been affected by Ravenswich. Yeah. Because things aren't, obviously what they should be. So this place is super dark. And we do say in the foyer, you should always have a light source. So I'll start carrying this. It also lets you see this TV cabinet better. This is the same TV I've been using since Haunted Woods Trails 1. It's just basic. It doesn't need to be fancy. But I did get a little fancy around back. I plugged it in. I didn't need to do that. Literally, no one's going to come back here and check for the accuracy of an electric TV being plugged into an outlet. I just felt like I needed to do it. I felt like it was a detail I needed to do. I don't know why. I always meant to remake this model before we went live because he's super basic. He's just wearing like rectangular trapezoidal robes. But with everything we did in here and all the fancy stuff we started doing, I felt like this was such a non-issue that he wasn't even all that scary. He's just kind of weird. So I was like, whatever. He can stay. It's too much work to rebuild, make him walk, and then put him on a something. So I never did. Trying to think what... We wanted this because this wing is supposed to be the servants' quarters wing, and we're going to see some bunk beds where the servants would have slept. So they needed some entertainment. I feel like at some point we talked about this being a bookcase that slid away, maybe, and just decided not to. I don't know if you remember.
I think we were thinking logically, like...
That's it. That's it, yes.
It wouldn't be how doors work. It wouldn't just be...
Yes, there wouldn't
whole
be...
wings sectioned off.
Right, because people would be actually using it. And that's why we have the bed and we have all the other rooms upstairs. Oh, I just accidentally closed my recording window. We're still recording, but the one in front of me so I can see stuff. All good. So yeah, that's right. Because I think I made this narrow because it was going to be a bookcase. And then you pointed out the reality of things. And I was like, oh yeah, no. You're right. People need to walk this way. It's normal. So come in here. And it's just a castle hallway with stairs. Lots of stairs. I wanted more robust brick texturing than the one brick texture Anyland has. So aside from making stone-like walls for the lighting, all the black, the grouting of the bricks, those are parts that I just did and copied in moved up and down and left and right. I only ended up using it in this hallway. I mean, it was a lot of work. The effect is good, but not that good, and we didn't really need it elsewhere. We started doing different kinds of walls. So, candles here instead of a torch. Because why? We liked using the candelabras and stuff. It felt more old school castle-y, right?
Yeah.
I think that was it. And I can see there's a door up there with a symbol, but it's super dark in here. So let's turn on the lights, the electric ones though, right? Yep. Uh-oh. Oh. Well.
It's personal, whatever that was.
Oh, that's right. We did a lot of personal in here. Oh, yes.
Let me see if
Go
I
for it.
saw
Because it turns on the cyan light. Okay, so it illuminates these two doors, which you couldn't see in the dark at all. And then the giant cyan glowing skull kind of spookily yells at you. I like the idea of having something silly big like that skull and then making it glowy.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, what the hell is that? That's what it was. So now you can see that there are two doors.
Wait.
What? Oh, what did I miss? Oh, yes.
Doesn't this open?
Yes, it does. So here's a, I don't know, cabinet, I guess, wardrobe kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay. Since we didn't go down to the first wing with your pool room, which I'll show in another video, I hadn't described this yet, so I'll do that again when we get to that. So I made cabinets, and the doors are closed, whatever, and they look good, just like bookcases. They're great filler for a room, filler, decor, whatever. But then, bouncing off ideas with us, I was like, well, what if the doors opened? What if we did stuff with that? So yeah, and then I put this here. So that door opens, and there's literally a skeleton in the closet. And he's got his arms folded, and he's got a Ravenswich purple cloak on, which I think is pretty cool. Nothing happens. But in case you are curious and you do turn around, which I would have missed if you didn't just point that out, just some more weirdness, spookiness to see. It sets the theme. So yeah, so there are multiple versions of the cabinet. Some the doors don't open, some the doors open. And it all depends on what we felt like doing. So yeah, so we'll go up here. Again, two doors. This door has the Ravenswich tone-on-tone purple logos. Also notes, I don't think this ever showed up. I think I made this for this year, this map, and not the original Ravenswich. We know about the Four Eyes logo. That's the logo of Ravenswich. The city, the isle, all that. We now know about the dispel icon, the glyph for the spell, the actual spell, dispel. And now it shows up on the banner. So, again, tone on tone, it's subtle. It doesn't mean much. It just looks cool, right? But it does hint that, like, not only do the Four Eyes logo, the Four Alien Eyes logo, Alien Eldritch, whatever, for the city and everything, the cult, but now it's kind of like they know. And lost to history from 50 years ago, the glyphs and the magic, but somebody remembered, and it's passed on through the banners and stuff. So, yeah, we're not going to go in there yet. We're going to go in here first. Again, new doors. I like big doors in the castle. Felt more castle-y. A lot of my original doors, especially Ravenswich and House on Haunted Witch Trails, I made them a little shorter than a real door just to give you that vibe, you know, that things aren't quite right. Mm-hmm. So then we were talking about making new doors for the castle, and I was like, well, big wooden doors for castle, for sure. Bordered out in stone. So. And, yeah, there's that spooky ghost girl you might have seen from Ravenswich. Yep, just kind of adding to that. So we're in here. It's a little bedroom. You know, nothing crazy. A bed, you know, nice bed. There's a Delco. There's another cabinet. Is that cabinet open?
I think they all open. No.
It does. But there's nothing in it. This is a cabinet you yourself can actually hide in. That's what it was. So, a mirror. This is exactly like I've done a couple of times, especially notably in Ravenswich, that mirror in that one pink bedroom with the girl in the mirror. Just very simply, it is tappy glass, your style. It's a glass texture with a perfectly mirrored room. All the items in there are the items in here, reversed. Except the bookcase isn't reversed because I didn't feel like doing that. No one else would notice. That door, if it opens, will also open in the mirrored world just to sell it. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yep. Oh, good timing because I know close together. They're just the scripts are in sync, of course. So, fun thing about this room, in the mirror, it looked back at me. So I always thought it was a creepy thing. Look in the mirror. And that lady is here. And she's gone. And you got that string hit. But she was never in this room. I love it. I freaking love it. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything more to say. I just love that effect.
Wonderful.
It is, right? Okay, so we'll exit here. Before we go across the hall, I want to just demonstrate the reasoning for needing to go in there. First, at the top of the stairs, there's another door and a doorway. We'll go in there, of course. This door has this multiple circles symbol. Remember, this is a couple of years before Elden Ring, so don't think that's an Elden Ring reference to the ring itself. No. It just, I wanted to look almost Celtic. I don't know. But again, with this here, it's locked. You're going to need a key. Where are you going? A key. You can see through here, and you can see there's a spiral staircase. And this is the bottom of it. Okay, cool. So now you have an idea of where you're going. You need to go through here, and you're going to need a key. Again, we locked you out, so you're going to have to explore this area a bit. So that's cool. We will, I guess, let's show your super cool room before we move on, because it is super cool. So, this room, doors open. That thing is it's translucent and flickering and jumping around. And the floor is glowy and it's shifting color a bit. And the walls and the ceiling have static purple, Ravenswich purple for sure. Just really selling this is something wrong with reality, right?
Yeah. If you step in.
Oh yeah, the sounds.
Yeah. Well, recalling the ending of Ravenswich, we sort of hinted that it's a simulation.
Right.
So there's supposed to be a glitchy room.
The glitchy room too. Oh yeah, there's a chair. I didn't even notice at first. Yeah, glitchy room to kind of be like, well, if this were still a simulation, this is part of it breaking. I guess I move in. I can see some of that.
Oh yeah, that's a futuristic looking bench.
This bench. Oh my gosh. That is a very, very futuristic, more than just modern, honestly. Very futuristic bench that does not look like it's belongs here, that it should be here. I wonder.
It's lifted straight out of Neon City.
Yeah, almost. Except Neon City doesn't have any of these benches. So when did it come from? So yeah, good call. So that's a weirdness. I wouldn't call this room an Easter egg, but it is definitely just thematic for the Ravenswich trilogy and everything going on. Old, new. Love it. So we'll step out. And the door slams shut behind you. Hope you got your fill and you put one and one together, made some inferences because you're not going back in there. And even the sound, that music kind of sound effect that you had stopped once you got out.
Slowly.
That's right. So I want to show this room before we go in there just to cover it. Door opens. You come in here and it's a big library with double tall bookshelves. Some verticality because you come in on a balcony, with some new custom fencing that I did for that. A pillar, interesting. Electric lights instead of candles. The radio, which again, if we get closer, is playing that song in an ashtray. Dun, dun. And we got the book The Night Rituals are out. This spot where I'm standing, there's a photograph that shows up later, Polaroid style, taken by two pals. It takes place here in the past because these are candles and torches. Note this pillar, but of course it's just a pillar, well lit. What else? Creepy skull. I kind of ramped up some of the skulls by putting not collarbones, the top of the spine and giving them jaws. Those guys always come out a little more creepy. Whereas my original skulls we've used since Underwood Charles I, the Underground, don't have jaws. Mm-hmm. And so,
right.
Yeah, they just look, well, low poly, as they are. So yeah, radiator, a plain wall, note, a plain wall. One of my paintings, a couch. This is just a really nice reading room. Lots of books, in a castle. That door is going to take us to where we want to go next, but I want to go from the hallway just because I like going in that way. I think it looks better. But note that that door will go there, and there are multiple ways to get around, which is awesome. So, all right, in here, this is the servant's bedroom. It's dark. Actually forgot that happens when you step in. It's dark because obviously people sleep in here. Duh. And you just got a flash of red light with the skeleton zombie whatever servants in all of the beds. I was looking this way, but every bed of the bunk beds has one. These bunk beds. You came up with the chests for this world, which is good filler. Good chest. Yeah, good stuff that we wanted to. We needed more decor.
You made the chest.
I did?
I think I made a separate chest at another point.
You did. Oh, you know what? Sometimes when I see things, I think you did it because of the certain shapes that you tend to use and I don't use. But now I see this is more my style of chains.
Yeah.
So.
We exchanged various building techniques.
Of course. I mean, we've been building together for years, and we work so well together. Of course, sometimes our styles look identical. Mm-hmm. That's what works so well. We don't overdo anything, and we both know not to overdo anything. Mm-hmm. So these are bunk beds that we've seen. Well, we haven't seen the bunk beds, but we've seen the beds before, even in that other room. And I just stacked them and stretched, nothing much to say about them. Chests are not meant to be open. That's why they're chained. That's the door that leads. I can open it. Back to the library. See? Cool. But you don't care about that. What you want to do is open this closet because you're very curious. Oh, and it's another dead skeleton dude in a straitjacket. In a closet. Oh, it's so creepy. Like, what is that about, right? So moving along here, between these two rooms, a blue curtain has separated the sleeping quarters from what just appears to be table and chairs. But anyway, I like this effect with the curtain. It's nice. I thought it was a good way to separate two rooms without doing a wall. Again, always walls. Trying to make more visual interest. So you come in here, and it's still brick with wood, so it's still castle theme. And it's candles and torches, because the servants don't get electricity here, unfortunately. Purple carpet, chairs are all... Okay, so let me just read these. I heard singing upstairs like some mad choir. All I heard was someone rummaging around like a crazy person. I like the two chairs against each other. And then I don't know how to describe what I saw. And finally, well, I saw blood on the wall, on the wardrobe. And these are all quotes from the intro to the Seventh Guest game, except for this one, which I went further. You heard the squishy sound, and behind you, the wardrobe is now bloody and has a blood arrow. So, like, if you were just chilling in this room and thought you were going to backtrack and you still haven't found that key, this should be ridiculously obvious where you should go next. And this shows up when you read that last note. So I would think that everyone would read the note when they came in here, because interesting. 30 seconds it decays. I mean, I can set it off again, right? Yep. Okay. Oh, yeah, and now we can see it drip. I made it stretch in real time. Just for fun. Anyway, we go in here. The closet is not a closet. It is a passageway. Just like in House of the Haunted Woods Trails 3, we did a passageway behind the walls. I love this feeling. A castle needs to have it. Got a little squeaky mice. Extra drip on the candle, so you know it's been lit for a while. Yeah, just really like doing the behind the walls things. We did a few of them in this world. So here's a plain wall. Not much to say about it at the moment. Something metal, riveted perhaps. Not sure. Like a plate. A bloody hand and a knife switch, which should indicate to you. So that goes down and comes down. We'll see. That opens up. And then, yeah, I'll just step out. You heard the sound over here. And you can watch that go up. And this is just a little Ravenswich area. This is another key. Again, plays a sound effect. Has the particle effect to let you know you should grab it. It's on a key holder. It's floating, yes. That's just a video game thing. Just to make it easier to grab and let you know you should grab it. A couple of Ravenswich items, spider eggs, potions, purple goo in a jar, the banners. Now that I've actually picked that up, it has shown up on that rack in the foyer. Because that's what we did. That's what we said we would do. Mm-hmm. So let's go open that door.
Briefly. The one-way.
Oh, right. Thank you. That's right. So this painting. So remember I noted it was a blank wall. And the painting itself is a quad, a one-way see-through. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. So that door opens up so you can get out, right? And then I'll show it off here. Now that you can see out. You see Delco, right? And then across the way you can see what opened up. So your eye can be drawn to all the important things like Delco and the key. And yeah, just right there. That whole painting. You'd never suspect it because it looks like a framed painting. It is. But the canvas itself is the one-way see-through. And that panel lowered so you can see through it. So, thank you. Definitely needed to point that out because that was super clever.
Amnesia, Machine for Pigs.
Yes.
Exact same thing. Painting that is also a one-way window.
That into a room, right? And we did use that at least one other time in this world, upstairs in this wing.
Yeah, Ravenswich, we just did it to make that one alley trick.
Yes, right.
With the wall.
The fake brick wall. But here we started using it in situ in a room like this and as we, again, you see and you can see what opened up as you hear it too. So it draws your eye and you get a visual of the key, everything revealing itself. So you don't end up just coming out here and going, looks the same and move and forget to look over there. So you don't move on. So we're very, very particular the way we design things. So yeah, let's use this key. Open the door. That's closed. Nothing going on there. Again, it's locked until I put the key in. Open the door. It's a real door, not a teleport. That stays here. I could have linked it. I could have done a double sub thing, or probably triple sub thing because of the way that works. It wasn't worth it. Who cares? It's not worth the frame rate and hit that it could have caused or the scripting jazz. So it'll stay there. The door will close. Everyone will see it in place. So here we are. Again, there's the window we looked through. Spiral staircase going up. This I will show now. So this actually locked behind us. Tricky. That way, if you're on the other side, you can't try to like force your hand through the door and hit it or something. Anyland is protective of that anyway, but there are ways around it if you're super tricky. So anyway, there's a switch. Oh, it goes that way. It goes down. You hear it unlock, which is the same effect as the key itself. So if you could physically put the key back there, physically, virtually, or you can just hit this and it plays the sound effect there. It shoots the script to actually unlock. Just for if you're backtracking this way. We're not going to tonight, but I just, while we're here, show it off. So let's go up the stairs. Unlike in my tips video, there are no ramps on these stairs. I wanted you to have to think about deliberately stepping up the stairs. I didn't want you to just glide up really easily. Oh, there's the other chandelier.
Oh, yeah.
With the thing. Okay, cool. So these are the old school books. Yeah. And they just fly out. They'll reset, but the effect will not reset for you. And I believe it's personal. This was one of the first things I prototyped as far as jump scares for this world. I remember I did this in my apartment. We were also prototyping, I still have the prototype, but we never used, the force a player to jump backwards by forcing them to slide back or something.
Oh, yeah.
We tried that together in my apartment, but we never ended up using it. It's okay. So yeah, so only that. It uses the when destroyed. The books are all separate from the bookshelves. That resets. I don't know why they all don't reset. It doesn't matter because you can't trigger it again. It's just a fun, cool thing. This room is well lit. It's not supposed to be scary, but when you take a step and all those books come flying, some right at you, some in front of you, so many of them, that is kind of scary, actually. Just that's it. So yeah. So then you open this door. And you see the exact same setup. Except nothing happens. So you're going to walk through this room with trepidation, expecting the books to pop off. But they don't. The only difference between these bookshelves and those bookshelves is that these are the original bookshelves. And you can tell they also have the white, rectangle for the pages. Visible, aside from the binding, the book bindings of the colors, where those books are just the solid color books. So no one will notice that ever, but that's one difference. So anyway, you move on after your trepidation. Note this door, copper, instead of silver, like the ones downstairs, and the vertical lines are purple. And I think they might have been gray, maybe brown previously. All right, so you come in here, and you see a new type of hallway with something there. The blink was just the 30-second decay of emitted lights. There's a hand. It shuts the door, and then there's a ghost thing that disappears. So you could... Oh, are you out? Oh, there you are. Ha! So you can go that way, or you can turn and see more halls this way. We've got the hanging lights to create some well lit spaces, but also reinforce the shadows, which I love. That room in a minute. First, something you should note: a gate. It's a double gate. There are two gates in a hallway. So, I mean, if you think about it, you should realize that you need to lower both gates and go that way. I'm not sure if Kitty has shown up other than the starting note where you got the first key. I don't think I have done them since, but this is the same cat with the glowing purple eyes that Castellan has on his shoulder, and that shows up in that first lounge drawing room where you get the note from Castellan, pick up the dagger, and get the first key. So that cat is kind of gently guiding you to, paths or ultimate paths, because obviously in this case you can't go here. Whatever. So there are two rooms that'll have switches to lower these gates, but you have to do something first before you can hit the switches to do that. You have to turn the power on. Yeah, so before we do that, let's show this room since we're here. Okay, it's a dark room. There's an electric light, but it's out. Chair, desk, table, some statuary, a chest, a switch. Flip the switch. Light turns on. Cool. And there's, oh look, it's a picture. It's a picture of two friends in that library room that I pointed out. But note the candle torches and not, or candelabras that are candles and not the electric lights. So this is an old photo, Polaroid though. The arrow. So you should flip it over. Do not look at this photo. Skeletons. And the whole room just gets, and the light turns out, but the whole room just gets black. This black stuff that we did in rooms in this world. All these pictures, and if you let go, it moves a little. I just want to talk about that real quick because I was playing the game Song of Horror one night with you and Epco watching, and in that game there are a bunch of different things in that house, that first house, and at one point I picked up a picture. It was like a family. Oops. I cheated. I'll explain that in a minute then. I didn't realize. Okay. Yeah, there's like a family photo that you pick up off a table, and then you turn it over because in that game you can turn things over with the mouse, and then it says something like that: "Do not look at this photo," or "Don't turn over," or something like that. And as soon as you turn it over, spooky things happen, or in that moment an event triggers. So I wanted to recreate that. I had to. And so that was, it's so effective. So that was perfect. Do it here. It's the only interesting thing. As soon as you turn it over, it says, "Do not look at this photo." After you look here, there's an invisible "when looked at" plate. As soon as you read these words, it flips to the other side of the picture. So therefore, when you look back, it has already happened, and looking back triggers another "when looked at." It switches the image and then tells the black to show up and the paintings to all appear. The other thing is behind this statue, a squished blood, a beating heart. So it looks like you can push it. Yep. We just touch it. And we did it again. The see-through painting. This is the hallway with those gates that you're going to end up in. And there'll be a painting on the other side of that I'll point out. Yeah, so the snap. Good thing. We came up with the Jinx snap script. We use it to shortcut unlock doors if we don't have the keys. And then I have inhibitor blocks around. Not right here, clearly, but in some places where you actually have to be close to the door to snap because it's just sending a tell first of any script. And then the closest thing that can read that will react, which should be the closest locked door at that moment. In this case, you heard the gate go down. Let's go just move along. Because I accidentally triggered it. Yeah. Oh, and the cat is gone. But you can see where the gate was, right? Just to give you an indication that, yes, it went down. You're not hallucinating that there were gates. Yeah, so I snapped it, triggered that. That was an accident. Okay, so we'll just run around here. This hallway, well lit. I like the broken out wood panels here with the blood behind the brick. In the brick of this. Just, yeah. This gate was up. And it mirrored that other one. So when that one went down, this one went down. Oh, I missed it. That's fine. We'll watch it reset. But when you get near this wooden paddle, just like this one showed it's off, these break out with that sound effect. And it's kind of trippy because they do it untweened. I mean, when they go back, they'll naturally Anyland decay in 30 seconds. And I'll trigger it again, and they'll jump out. So it is a jump scare. It's effective. It gets me. So yeah, when you step close. Oh, it doesn't reset. Okay. When you come out, each one of those floorboards, as you saw, even though they're textured to look like just part of the row, they're individual pieces. And they jump out untweened in that crazy askew way, so it's kind of creepy. That place will come out of... That place is... I think we should show anyway, and this is just an effect. So I'll do the second video for unnecessary things, but since we're here, that door opens up into literally a void. It's weird. It feels weird. And the gray hands with the spooky voice, and the eyes, and it just feels weird. Some of those hands are moving. The eyes are when looked at. We have more eyes later. The black void or goo shows up a few times in this world. The whole door disappears. So not only is it like a whole hallucination thing, even maybe hallucinated the door. Architecture of this hallway, I like being totally different. I want it to feel taller, so a triangle ceiling, but not crazy. But then doing the floor molding, I guess, and the middle and the top, just breaking up square, orthogonal, everything. Yeah, so this door. Trying to think. Got that door. Got another candle. We go this way. Door. Purple candle. Ooh, it's spooky. Has it been an hour already? It has.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Spooky sounds. Open this door. And it's a weird room. Oh, with ghost things. You can't go in this room. They just look at you. You can't get through here. The walls are different. Oh, you can go. Oh, that's what it is. Once they vanish, you can go in. And then you see this guy. And he vanishes when you get close. But he's got that jittery head that's just like, what the hell? Super freaky. I'm going to, jump through here. Thank you. And then there's one more fun thing, I think. Oh, yeah. I triggered him already. But there's a guy one of those guys with the heads will be behind that door. So that can happen. Or cannot happen. So, if this gate were up, you couldn't go this way yet. So you'd think maybe we'll go in this door. Dark room. One of those lights are out. Ugh! You get hit with the void tentacles that come at your face. This is some sort of hobby room, maybe. Carving a Ravenswich thing. With a chainsaw-looking blade and the dagger. You've seen that before. This is what I'm talking about. Switch box, but power off button. Doesn't do anything. Why? It says power off. Duh. But hopefully that indicates that might be related to the gate. What am I saying? So that light turns that on, but it's too late because you probably already came in. Oh, that's right. You had to come here. Or the other room. Mm-hmm. This gate would be up. This is the way to get to this hallway when the gate's not up. Or when the gate is up, rather, before it's not up. So, similarly, there is a gate here. The one I didn't put down. And I'll go in here real quick. Another power off. Light switch is over here. Flip the switch. Okay. It's powered off. Whatever. This is the door that got slammed closed by that skeletal big hand in the beginning.
Right.
There is one fun jump scare with this open chest. You look in here. You hear that sound effect that says doomed. A little straitjacket guy I drew years ago. You turn around. There's nothing behind you, even though you heard the sound that might have indicated a monster. As soon as you turn around, you hear a slam, and the chest slammed closed. So it just gives you this like, what the hell is behind me? And then, oh my God, that could have been my head. Right? And of course, personal.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the light goes out after 30 seconds. So, yeah. So now that we've seen the two rooms with the two buttons to lower the gates without cheating, there's only one more door that you really can go. Actually, 2. There's that other one, but this is the better way. You come in here, and you're like, what the hell is this room? There's purple goo, tentacles. Everything's got like a dirtiness. Oh, I talk too much. I'll step inside, and then there's a splash. And oh no, oh no, oh no. You go under the floor into the purple goo. More tentacles. Even lower. We're still going down. That was just a sub thing, and the standard water effect that we've been doing that's higher than the actual floor. Stuff clipping through. So we go through here. There's a particle effect that helps sell the water vibe. So you go through this, let's say, tunnel. More stairs. All is purple. It's gooey. Yeah, again, no ramp. And you come to this doorway with some Ravenswich text. And so you're like, okay, cool, let's step out. And then you're like, wait, cool, I caught you. You step out. One-way see-through. So now you're in a room, and actually you can't get back even if you thought about it. But now you realize that's not a doorway, it's a mirror. And you can see that stone placard, whatever. Here's the door. Locked. But notice the purple lines are no longer vertical. Vertical. They're kind of scratchy. No rhyme or reason, so that's interesting. I think this is locked. Yep. Okay, so you might be realizing we are in a mirrored room. And that's fun. And just like, come in, to beckon you through the mirror, you step in, and you're like, oh, Delco's in there. But yeah. So these are real doors. So if you'll open that door, that's the room we came through and went down and around and through. We don't need to backtrack here. But note there is another door. Difficult to get to. You don't need to get there from here if you don't want to, because you'll start lowering down as soon as you get too far. It's not worth trying to get that door open. There's nothing special. Anyway, mirrored everything as usual, even the painting. Tappy glass. So yeah, moving along, we go in here. Another stone room. Oh yeah, we didn't mention there's one on the gravestone. Your new candles.
Oh yeah.
Because they do use your two-tone.
Yep, it's actually a different particle effect.
Oh, it is.
Found a different one that works.
That's right, because you also
this
have
one alternates.
Oh yeah.
3 colors, I think. It's tricolored.
Right.
Dark purple, light purple, and then like a
okay.
really light purple.
And you get the little extra sparkles, and the candle itself is just different because of designing and amping up things. So, yeah. So we come in here. This room, and I'll show you this. We're gonna go that way after we go through the door here, but I had originally made it so that whichever way you came through, that way would be blocked, and when you went through here and came back, it would reverse. But the scripting was bugging me, and it just wasn't working out the way I wanted to, so I decided let it be more free-flowing, free-form. You can get here from that way, and we'll just backtrack from there because it's easier. Yes, another one of these doors. It's not locked, but it's bigger and fancier, has logo. Open the door. Another under the stairs area. We'll go up. Fancy candle. Banner. Yes, I reused the same stairwell and like many hallways too, because that's how architecture works. Okay, so we come up here. Metal cabinets and shelves, some books, chest, a fridge. A fridge with this black stuff coming out of it, and eyes from the stuff, this void goo. Very quietly, there is a sound block of a refrigerator humming. It's hard to hear, but another one. A door is covered, the lock and everything, and the eyes and the thing. It's just weird. I like it. We come into a laboratory. Very Dr. Frankenstein, and I love it. I remember this room being challenging because it's round. So yeah, if you look at that one particular cage falls and rolls. That was hand animated so that it looked good. Grate on the floor and blood kind of texture on the floor, implying that, yeah, ew. Oh yeah, if you get close, those lights turn on, which we actually did in the Frankenstein house in Haunted Woods Trails 2, The Village. The exact same prop and effect. New banner with that symbol. We've seen that. I guess this device I made when you made the Ghostbusters Firehouse area, which anyone can go visit, because it was in your screenshots, I guess, of the game, which was like contained Slimer or something, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was Slimer's house.
It was, okay, yeah. So I just filled it with this, more of that purple, the tentacle's purple, more of the black void goo ooze that we've been theming with the eyes that look at you. And it's humming. Little ambient sound effects like that really add to the presence of things. Yeah. So retro encabulator, but copper. Hooked up to stuff. And another one of these things with an eye in it. Yeah, okay, so we'll go up these stairs. Again, verticality. That's something we tried to do more of. To this balcony. Another retro encabulator with a switch box and a broken wire. Ambient sound effects. And a switch. And a blinking red light. So the thing is, the two power off switches had the same red light. So I kind of wanted to subtly get that in your mind. So another knife switch we hit. Yeah. So a couple things. That light changed to a very pale green. So do the two power off lights. That sound effect plays for everyone area wide. And I remember you were saying, oh, maybe it could be too weird and no one would know what it was if it just went off. And I was like, no, I like it. It's extra weird. So basically, you've just turned power back on for the castle, specifically this wing, though, to allow those two buttons to react. So I'll just run through here. And I like those creepy sounds because it's kind of like, what the hell did you just do? So we'll go down here. Spiral stairs, purple lights. I like it. Yep. All right, go back. Oops. Go back here. We'll go left. All right. We open this up. And this room is like the poltergeist room in Haunted Woods Trails 2 Village. Certain things, if you look at them, will jump to another. I like the light. The light actually is placed light so that it follows. But yeah, certain things will jump when you look at them. That leads back to the purple oozy room. There's another note. I will always remember that waltz we used to play together. Just hearing the prelude resonates with my very soul. You'd count off the beat 1, 2, 3, and then I'd strum the opening 4 measures, and it would send me to a magical place in my heart. That's a hint for the music room, which leads to a back entranceway we're not going to do tonight. We'll do the other video. Even the painting jumped. But that's a hint for another room. So, go here. Here's another just room. I remember I didn't know what I wanted to do with this room. It laid empty for too long, and I was like, ooh, a little head and a crystal ball that looks at you, and he looks scared. That's perfectly weird. If you tap on it, he screams. Spooky effect. Spooky, ghastly effect. Screaming and particle effect we used in Haunted Woods Trails 1 at the corn maze. Well, it wasn't a maze. The cornfield. Yeah, corn stalks area. So, nothing to see there. We come back to the hallway. Recognize this hallway? Yes. We could have gone that way. I just like coming this way in this sequence. So this gate would normally be up still, and we would go here. Yes? We go back in here with that, And note, it's not power off red. It's power on with this light green. Nothing because I accidentally snapped before, but it lowers that gate and it lowers the main gate. So we'll go this way. Why not? Because you go this way, you'd see one gate, not both. Notice all the lights have turned red. All these lights, which were pretty normal colored, are now red, even the ones down there. Since you turned on the power. Kind of weird because you would think if power was out, you'd get red warning lights. But now it's more of a warning you turn the power on. That's not great. It also ties into the end of this world with the red lights and other places you might see red caution lighting if things aren't, well. All right, so real quick, I'm just going to go in here and hit this button. Again, you heard the sound effect to draw your ear, just like the other one. If you come out, you can watch it come down. All right, so now we can get into this hallway. I think we can skip a few of these rooms. Definitely this room. This leads to the music room, which I'll cover later, but that's what that note was about. It was actually a clue to a puzzle. This is the bathroom. There's an effect in there. Don't need that. This... I'm just going to show. Pulsing electric light. There are eye bats and eye spiders, and they've all been impaled with some kind of dart, some kind of wooden dart from like a crossbow. Oh, this guy. He's hiding behind the door the whole time. You don't even see him until the door closes, and then when looked at, he's dead. These guys are not, impaled. I'm not going to do the fireplace thing right now, but this is another room that leads to another back area that is another back way to things, which I'll show later. Purple ooze, Ravenswich. The crossbow that did all this is in the back passage anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to show that we're keeping up with the Ravenswich eye bats, but now they're eye spiders. Both of which I had designed for a web comic more than 10 years ago. No, probably 10 years ago. In Ravenswich, House on the Haunted Witch House 3, I alluded in the video, one-way walls that act as passageways. This is one of them. All that's one-way see-through. But you don't know that yet, so you're not going to go there because you don't know that you can. You'll go through this door. You'll come into a TV room. Couch, there's a TV over there, table, chair, okay. And you move in. Oh. Skulls. Right? Oh, we've seen that picture before. Right? So, yeah, 2 skulls of that guy. Square TV in the style of my TVs, but I made a square image because I needed to import that one picture that we've seen before. And I just like doing a creepy sequence where you stop and watch it happen. Oh yeah, it'll cycle back into static. But one thing people won't notice at first, it just happened. It was ugly wallpaper. Shows up, and then it goes away. And on this wall, it went away, and this wall. But it stayed back there because they weren't there before. Oh, no, it didn't stay. Ha! Okay, it went away. That's fine. The black ooze dripping down again from the ceilings, and the eyes, the red eyes that keep looking at you. So that happens after the sequence. So I really like messing with things like that. Yep, actual working light switches.
I broke the sequence.
That's okay. Step up, because this was step down in here, step back up. I like that. 13 clocks are not keeping time. just to point that out. We did that so well in Ravenswich. So anyway, if you turn right, you can see. Oop. Yeah, I can go back and forth. It's one-way see-through. It's cool. So we're here. That door. This is the last door sequence, and there's a little space. And you hear weird sounds in there. You know who didn't show up? Castellan's not here.
Why?
I don't recall. And I...
Should we have pressed the buttons? Was that
No.
because we snapped for one of them?
I wonder, do we have to open the door first?
Maybe.
Well, Castellan will show up with another text bubble hinting for you. So there's this broken out passageway that you can totally go in. And there's this door. So let's open this door. There are flying monster books mouths. Oh god, comes right at you. A summoning circle. Magic going around, and you can't enter this room. You cannot enter this room. I know. Oops. I know what it is. You need that MacGuffin to get through that room. Oh, and Castellan shows up after you open the door. Great. He says, frightful summons, yes. I know the master has an item, a magical artifact of dispel and protection. Last I saw of it, it was in another wing of the castle. There might be alternative ways to the room beyond that one. Thank you, sir. Yeah, so that's a hint that you can get through that room. We made the floor covered with an unwalkable. And if you have the MacGuffin that dispels monsters... Silly me, I forgot we need it. Don't need it. There are 2 other ways to get in beyond. But anyway, it'll dispel the books and it'll take away that floor you can't walk on, so you actually go in there. Fun thing, which I won't show in this video, if you go here, it will actually lead you back to that wing where the MacGuffin is. And it, but you have to have gone that way first because there's a double gate. And you have to open the gate from the other side first, and this is the way back, the shortcut. So we're not going to worry about that right now, because I wonder if I have it in my inventory that I can just pull out. Jeez. Keys. I do. It's this, right? Yes.
I think so. I
Yep.
have it.
Yep. Okay. So Castellan's gone, and you heard the sound effects stop over here. So if you have this, certain monsters and jump scares will not be. Just having this radiates a command. Will actually picks up. It's a back and forth tell. If you have it out with when near and other things we placed to make things go away. So in this case, you actually need it to get in here. Notice the flying book monsters are gone, and you can walk. I'm walking. And here's one of those book monsters, but as a just book. So that's fun. So, yeah, so if you have this, Castellan won't show up. Those guys wouldn't even show up at all. But if you backtracked and came back with this, obviously, like here, they went away. Summoning Circle goes away, Particle Effect goes away, etc. Tobin's Spirit Guide, as we always say, gotta have it. It's floating. Spirit. The Red Night Rituals show up again. This room has a fun shape. I want to do a different shape. Windows, outside. So let's go moving along. Don't need this anymore. Okay, it's dead. Into this nice room. I like this room. It's just a nice room. It's castle-y because it's got the brick. It's got some wallpaper. It's got a table and a couch. Yeah, it looks good. It's castle-y. More windows because you're on this side of the wall, just like the windows. Windows in there. So yeah. Bookshelves with locks on them. Don't worry about that door. Actually, I think it's locked. It is. So here, read a note. I stare for hours in the mirror, pondering what wondrous life might be on the other side. Or perhaps it's merely more calm over there. Could I escape this horrible existence? Who knows who wrote that? Nobody signed it. but it is on the official Ravenswich stationery with Delco symbol on it, so that's cool. So it's a big deal that you got into this room because you needed to get past the monsters. And that bookshelf will slide away later, but there's another way in here from that bookshelf. That door's closed. What else do you do? What's this? It's a curtain. And it says pull me. Oh, are we going outside? I mean, it's outside, right? Because the windows? Here, I'll pull. Let go. It's a mirror. And that's outside, so it's a mirror. So it's really a mirror. Wow. We invented mirrors in Anyland. Wait, no, we didn't. It says, step through the looking glass, Alice. I used that before. House on Haunted Woods Trails 3. It's just perfect. I love Alice in Wonderland stuff, so anything themed like that. Everything, again, is reversed in this room, except the bookshelves, because I didn't want to go through the effort. So you can step through, and you get that creepy sound. Just selling the fact that, yeah, you just stepped through a mirror. And you see that door, which is the opposite of the one we came in from the library, is black oozed with glowing red scratches that you're not going this way. It's a monster door. If you try to open it, it growls and moves at you. And then if you look back, it says welcome home in your name. A second after you read that, you get the string hit, and then there's blood. So before I go through this sequence, I just want to show the pull me. Now it says kill me on this side. It's another movable, but it's set so that you can only go up and down. You can't go left and right. And there are blocks, I think I can show. Yeah. Yeah. So when the movable collides here, it sends a tell. And if it hits the cyan one, it will actually jump back. Yep, to the top. So notice the mirrored. To really sell the mirror effect. I love it. Anyway, that was one of the first things we prototyped as well before starting this world in earnest. Was we wanted more grabbable things. In the theme of movables in Anyland, let us do that because they're always placed, but you can interact and move them. In this case, it's restricted to the one axis. Just to be more interactive instead of always doing switches and buttons. So, moving along here, another one of those. Oh, the note changed. It says, keep the curtain closed. One can never tell what might come from the other side. Yeah, like us. I just love selling the idea that, like, not just a mirror, but everything's mirrored, including life. People living out their life in a mirrored castle here don't know what's on the other side of the... Yeah, I love the implications of the weirdness. Philosophically. So anyway, we'll try this door, which will open. No, it won't. You heard the magic. It sounded like it jumped, and then you heard the opening of a door over here. So now we have to actually go back through the mirror. And look, the text is mirrored. And that door is now open. So I love this. I love this sequence. So you come here. Oh, it's like a sarcophagus with a praying angel statue. And we have these candles that are kind of bleeding wax. It's just fun because it's not blood. So it's clearly wax, but it's like those candles that you can melt on a bottle that the inner wax is different colors, so it ends up like rainbow colored down the sides. Anyway, this sarcophagus stone hand is pointing this way. And just to make it ridiculously obvious, kind of a wax trail. What do you see? You might recognize it before, but it is a switch. Hit it. And you hear over here a door opening. Same door sound. So we're going to go back again through the looking glass. And this opens up to find another similar scene. Except it's not a sarcophagus. It's an altar. And there is the same crying angel statue, except she's really crying with the black void in her eyes and our fingertips. Ooh, it's creepy. Well lit by some really cool purple candles. We have literally a skeleton key. Again, purple glowing, the sound effect. This will show up in the lounge. And the note says, created from cursed sources in the dungeon below the castle. Hint, hint, there's a dungeon below the castle. Hint, hint, you gotta go there. Access the West Wing skull door. If you haven't seen it before, now you definitely know. You're looking for a wing that has a skull door lock, and it's in the west of the castle. So hit this switch. You hear that way, you heard a sliding sound. Step through again. Yay! The sliding bookcase. And this is the back way to get back in. I'll drop this. I'm going to use it. I'll pick that up later elsewhere. So it's a back passage, kind of low. Again, I love this. Love it all. Skeleton skeleton hand holding a torch, which I love. I love that effect. Instead of having it mounted on a metal holder, sconce holder. So this is a hallway. We're not going to go this way right now. From the music room and that room with the fireplace leads here. So if you don't have the MacGuffin to dispel the summoned evil books, you can, if you're smart, you can figure out how to get to this back path and go that way and get into that room from the sliding bookcase. But we'll show that in the other video, next video. We'll just keep going along here. This is another one of those need a light refresher. We did this a few times. We've done this in other worlds. Because it's dark, so you should have something. Stairs down. Again, verticality. Love it. Also stairs down because we're going down a whole floor in the castle. This is going to set up where we're coming out of. And even though it's going to be on the opposite side of the castle, it'll be on the correct floor from where we are right now. So, again, trying to set in our ways the foundation and the architecture of the castle. Super dark in here. You come through here. You come here. And there's a wooden door, per se, and a switch. And can you hear it on the video? Music. Flip it. No, it's down. We are now in the lounge in the front, and there's where the music's coming from. Yep. Anyway, so like I had alluded to in the beginning, and we saw it just close, that bookcase is tricky. That whole passage, since technically we were over there and around and around and around, there's, because it's dark, I made a duplicate hallway at the end, and you silently teleport to back there. Originally, when we were talking about ideas, I wanted to do multiple places in the whole castle where you end up behind the walls, going down a passage that would teleport you here. So like 3 or 4 times you would keep ending up here. Like what? To make this room feel like more of a hub and better for having the keys that show up there if you need to grab them. Which is why I just said I'd grab the skeleton key later. But we ended up doing things a little more connected and less tricky, I think. So we only did that once. That's all. All right, so real quick, I'm going to grab the skeleton key. And we're going to go to your West Wing. So, gosh, I'm trying to run through here. All right, we go this way, we go this way. Green carpet. Skull on the placard. And I will unlock this and jump in. Jump because it's teleport. Okay, so now we're in, Delco's awesome, freaky West Wing. So come here and there's a note. West Wing Anomaly Investigation Log number 1. And you can come here and read this, but it refers to a Dr. Gideon and recent experiments and weirdness. So come here, get these awesome, here are your purple torches.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Which is cool.
New.
Yeah. In your hall. And then we come in here, some blood arrows on the carpet. And we approach this wall. We're like, well, what are we going to look for? I don't know. Ah, I love that effect. The whole wall is an illusion. It fades out, and then you're night blinded because of the brightness. And as it fades out, your eyes have to adjust to see the stairs and the room beyond. So, moving into that room beyond, some weird sound effect. What should we point out in your room?
Oh, well, this is the Escher space.
The Escher room, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we wanted to do that.
Yes.
It's a tricky thing to accomplish.
Definitely. You go crazy.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh, the chair.
The chair.
That's right. The chair has some...
shifting all over the place.
Right? Oh! Oh, I looked away just as it fell. But you hand animated all of that.
Yeah, I tried to simulate the physics to the best of my ability.
And it
The
looks great.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
candles. It was tricky to make the particle effect actually go sideways.
Right,
but I
because
forced it to.
if you notice on the candle I'm holding, if I turn it, they point up, and that was the intent. But yeah, the yellow and the green candles normally would want to point up, but you wrangled the particle effect so that it would elsewise. There's another note, October 17th, 1954, nice, from Dr. Thomas Hugh Gideon. So you can come and read that and see what's up. Oh, yeah. So that's a chandelier from the ceiling. And that's a chandelier from not the ceiling. Again, the particles are going down because you wrangled them to match. And this area, stairs on the ceiling, upside down door. And then this railing also implies, if you notice, the stairs and a door down there. And it's what's called a sconce, a chandelier there. Yeah, these two sides are sideways, upside down, and that's sideways. Yeah. So it's awesome. And
I'm trying to remember
yeah.
what the Thomas Hugh Gideon significance is, because I remember that name was very deliberately chosen.
Oh,
I
right.
can't remember why.
Because we wanted to have a scientist name who was doing the experiments, but why you chose the name?
It was something with the initials. I don't know what I was thinking.
Maybe. I can't
Something
remember.
like that.
Yeah. So we come around here.
Spiral staircase.
Another
that was very
spiral
annoying to make.
staircase. Oh, yeah. This was a custom one with small... Oh, it is... That one has an invisible bit in it, so you can slide up it. Go through this door.
It is. Yep.
Teleport door. And, yeah. So you're here. There's another corner stairwell. Come here and... I love that. In the static, first you hear the quiet, help me, and then it stops and actually says, help me. So it's like, is there somebody trapped in the ether broadcasting through the radio waves to like, what's going on? You know? Another note.
Yep.
Western Wing Anomaly Investigation Log 24. Nice. Oh, triggering again. So yeah, so then we'll go through here. So real door instead of a teleport, just to freak you out even more. Particle effect. Sound effect. I pointed out that door and that light just a moment ago in the railing. But now you feel like there's the green and yellow candles, which smart to choose very distinct colors that weren't used before to help sell awareness, the upside downness of things. Yeah, the whole thing is to sell you that you're now upside down from where you were.
Flip everything.
Yeah, so you just duplicated everything and flipped it and re-wrangled the particle effects. Brilliant.
It was confusing.
No, yeah, of course. For your brain as you're doing it. 'Cause people just walk through here and go, wow, really cool. But yeah, you had to suffer the brain twisting. Yeah, so I guess it's just, oh yeah, and the chair is where it ended up anyway, which is cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So we'll move forward to here. This door opens in. Some clutter. Red candle. I like it. I love colored lighting, so. Dice and dice bag. Yep. From McLokey's Tavern in Ravenswich. Again, on theme. Sticking with everything. So here's a fun, make sure I'm centered, a fun hallway. I'm going to walk through it. You get this weird feeling. Oh, that's so weird. Do you want to describe it?
Oh gosh. Yeah. That's not going to show up on the video.
It won't.
you
It's
can
more of a
see-
feeling, but you can kind of see the angle on the floor here.
Yeah. This hallway tilts upward as you walk through it.
That's
and
it.
It's very disorienting.
It feels weird in VR because you can see it
The
here.
ceiling stays straight.
That's what it is. So, yes. Because you started on that plane. And then, yeah. The whole, everything tilted. And it just feels weird. When you're walking in VR, it feels weird. It's brilliant. I love the weirdness. So, cool. Go in. Teleport door. Now we enter another section of the castle. Trying to think. There's a room we'll go in a moment. God rays, if you can see them on screen here, as I can in VR. We have some windows, and it's snowing. Remember, it's snowing outside, so it's still snowing, helping sell that you're still here. And previously, all of our windows have just been either frosted or otherwise dirty enough that you can't see out. And now there's a real, actual window, a couple of them. And you can see there's another, I guess, wing of the castle, another hallway out there, and you can look up and you can see some maybe spires sticking out and kind of void out there. And yeah, so it looks awesome that you did this and made it see through, and it just helps sell that the castle's huge and there are places kind of like what we did in Ravenswich. There are places that you can see but can never get to make it feel much bigger than it is. Before we go there, we'll go in this room and the sconce and that bright window, which implies it's
right.
no, not right at all. Implies it's daylight with God rays coming out, right? So I'll step in, and we have a different floor. I like this diamond floor. But you're like, what the hell is a note? Let me read the note. West Wing Anomaly Investigation 2. I'm not even going to read it because what the hell just happened? Now it's back to frosted nighttime glass. With a spooky sound, mood lighting. And we'll come outside. Not outside, but outside this room. Oh! A monster dog, oh, he's bleeding, just came flying through the glass window, broke it. The snow's coming in. He is still bleeding. Oh, he stopped bleeding. The snow's piling up. I love this effect you did. I love it so much I can't even...
Oh yeah, the snow starts coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an homage to Resident Evil 1.
Right.
With the dog.
With the dog. Well, everyone knows. The Rottweiler that comes flying in. You pass a room. He doesn't. You pass him again, and then he comes busting out. Similar dog model as in Ravenswich. The one that barks loudly at you. But yeah, you added another particle effect to make the snow come in, right?
Yep, and I twisted up the windows
That's right.
framing.
That's right. To make it look like it actually busted inward. Beautiful. And then, of course, we watched the snow form because it's snowing hard. And the wind. You added the wind, which really sells that the glass busted out, too.
I honestly forgot about all this.
Oh, man. I would never forget because I love it so much. I just thought it was brilliant. So, yeah.
I'm really happy with this.
I'm so happy with the way that came out, the way you did it all. I love it. So, yeah, we'll move along now that that's all triggered. Curtain opens up. Particle effect. A lot of clocks. Not just my grandfather clocks, but also you made clock heads, and they're all going crazy. And they're ticking.
Yeah, what does that represent?
What is going on? Why? What? Everything's so weird here, right? So, more weird sound effects and a red door I recognize from Ravenswich models. Let me go inside. Oh, it opens inward. Oh, another red door. And, you hear the music, too. And if you've been through Ravenswich, or hell, if you've even watched our videos of director's commentaries of it, you might recognize this alley. And I'll go there in a minute. But the music also sells it. I recreated the music in a block right here when near, or show at small, so it only plays when you're here. I went to Ravenswich and I took all the things here in the original and I duplicated them onto a single thing as sub things and moved that into my inventory and deployed it here and recreated this whole area. In the Ravenswich video, that's the bookshop down there. And we even point out that you can't get here and that you wouldn't be able to get here for like, quote, 50 years later. That would be important. So this is part of our weird time traveling section. And we wanted to revisit Ravenswich itself in the past, but we had to figure out where we could do it that wouldn't interfere canonically without a paradox for our original. So this was the perfect little space to do it.
Yeah.
So then we go in here.
I recall, don't we?
Oh, what?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so you move in
trails.
here, and the Ravenswich music stopped because we're no longer in Ravenswich, right? And now we're in House on the Haunted Woods Trails 3, the PT hallway from the foyer that leads to the backyard. Except it's a tiny bit different because there's the Ravenswich purple fog, but it's still just as spooky. So we come in here. Still locked. And the statue this time is a Castle Ravenswich angel with the bleeding black goo eyes and goo fingers. And then here, still blips because I love that effect. We'll open this door. It's a teleport door to the underground with that guy who's not normally in the underground. Oh, and just to further sell the weirdness, there's a door back instead of the path. So, you were going to say?
It is like a revamped. I mean, it's not revamped. The flame is nicer.
Oh, yeah, because the flame wasn't there at all. Because in the underground, that's the spawn area, and there's a torch that you're told to pick up. So, yeah, we copied some of this and revamped some of it as well. So it's kind of like touring through some of our old worlds with...
Going back through time.
Revisit some fun things that are recognizable to some Anylanders and our works. And the third of the Ravenswich trilogy also ties the underground canonically into the Ravenswich trilogy somehow, which we won't reveal yet. You'll have to, when we finish it, and you can come there and see it. So, you made that creepy guy who looks just like some of the other spooky guys, but he had red eyes this time, just to be different. And he notices us and walks away, which is cool, because he kind of, there's nowhere else to go, but I like when we do that because it kind of reinforces to the player and adventurer that you should go that way. So, yeah, so we got that. We got Ravenswich candle, Ravenswich banner, which isn't in the original underground. Super low ceiling. Yep, looks just like the underground. There's the pit. You can't go down because there's nothing there. You can step on it, but whatever. That candle, it used to be a candle. It's now completely burned down. But in the underground, it's a candle you can light with a torch. That doesn't open automatically in the underground. You have to hit this block, which is still triggered to do that. So now the particle effects are beckoning you into this void with the star fissure from kind of like a mist.
Playing Riven.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. You even learn base 25 math to complete it.
Yeah.
Which is wild. Yeah, so the star fissure from the Mist series is awesome, and this effect feels awesome in VR. I know it won't come out quite the same in a video on a pancake flat screen, but you go up to the star fissure, and you can see there's a 3D effect. It sounds. But as you... again, it probably won't come out on video too well, but you can tell that there's a thickness there to the star fissure edges. And so there's one thing to do. You teleport through. Yeah. And you get that monolith and the red light. And we walk up. We walk up to it because there's nothing else to do and avoid. It lowers and the light goes down. Oh God, you're in the darkness. There's nothing here. You get a heartbeat. And then that opens up. And, oh good. And I know, I can speak for you in this case. I know that it's a silent teleport in the darkness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you get teleported to this room, and then that door comes down, which I'll just step through to show. Oh, and it's a one-way see-through.
Right.
So further adding to all the super weirdness. Because I know something you were doing with the Dr. Gideon experiments at the Escher room was like experimenting with reality and stuff like that. So that just right there, jumping between timelines of old Ravenswich and House of the Haunted Woods Trails and the modern times, and then the underground and the unknown times, and then through that, and you come here. It's all super weird.
Yeah, if I really wanted to be cliche, I'd call it a multiverse.
Oh, there you go. Multiverse.
No, it's not a universe thing. It's just a timeline thing.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. It's one universe.
Goes beyond that.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
the
totally.
underground, as
Right.
we're planning.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So it is one universe, different times, and locations. So yeah. No, that's good.
Right.
So yeah, so we're in this room. It's nice. It's got this stucco kind of wall texture. Reminds me of Doom 2. I'm pretty sure I said that when you were making it. Because yeah, Doom 2 has some of this tan stucco for wall textures. Nice bowl for candy, I guess.
It's empty.
But it's
usually
empty.
Full of candy corn.
Oh yeah, that's a candy corn bowl. Oh, no candy corn.
Ungrabbable. No, I fixed that.
Good. All right, so we're going through here. And again, these rooms are going to have this kind of archway and the same... Oh, looks very much alike, which is cool. The small chair, unnaturally small, just to be offsetting. And then this space... Was there something about this? Oh, you can't go in there, but it's actually space. See the candle? Oh, my head's hitting it. Okay. Yeah, it's actually a space, and there's a wall here. But yeah, you can't go in there. So that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the unnaturally small chair. And you go this hallway. Oof. I love it. It's just so repetitious. It just looks the same. It's a little... The carpet's weirdly thin. The hallway, so I'll just run through here. Yup. You get that effect, and you're just like, okay, that's weird. And it corners. So you turn, and you're like, oh, it's even longer. Oh. And I can't even tell in VR from here. But I remember, this isn't a hallway all the way to the end. Didn't you use a screenshot?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
It eventually turns into a screenshot.
That's right. Somewhere down there, I'm not going to cheat it or anything, it's not this hallway anymore with the walls and stuff. It's a screenshot on a flat wall to imply further distance, which is cool. So I'll start going down here.
It's the Roadrunner trick.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Right. So you think
That's
you're going to run through it, but you're... So this slides aside with the awesome gears and that scratching sound. You can't actually go any further. See? Can't. So you have to go through here. A little duck, and then you're in this space. And it's cool because that's like a freaky liminal space you've been through. And now you're back clearly in the castle. Even though it still feels a little small. But yeah, you go up here. Nice U-turn. And there's a room. And this is fun. Because you end up in here. And you're like, oh yeah, okay. I wouldn't eat that. I would not eat that.
No.
If you turn around, oh, where's the stairwell? It's brilliant. I actually don't remember how you did that. Was it a silent?
Silent teleport.
It was a silent
when
teleport.
you hit the landing right here, it teleports you.
Oh.
Or it's something moves you, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is how you do the silent
The
teleport.
oh, right. The untweened. As we like to have, well, we did a lot in our previous two. So yeah, so you come into this, there's no backtracking. You don't even know where you are at this point, I think. You're like, oh, I recognize this from the entryway of this wing. So keeping with the themes of things looking similar. Ah, yes, again, we have a spiral staircase. And that's not purple. That's blue, so that's cool. Going up here. And another area, the big door. Open the door. It's a teleport door, because we needed it. We come into this room. And that window is visible from the outside facade of your castle. To imply that we are now in the West Wing highest tower, right? Because that's where that...
Highest tower.
Yeah, so that's where that is. God rays for cool effect. Yeah, bookshelves for fun effect. The graveyard, if you want to demonstrate it as, always.
Sure.
It plays music, it falls apart. And number 5, because it's the 5th in our haunted.
Yep.
You always
Can't
one up
think of any
yourself.
more after that.
You can't. It's okay,
This room is
because...
just a way to include the elements that we have. We usually have, like the ticket booth.
Like the ticket booth,
the
which...
graveyard.
Right.
But wouldn't otherwise fit in the world, so I just put them in here.
Right. So this, ended up as a collection kind of room. Artifacts. Castellan's cat, by the way. You're on the right path. Skull, yeah. So the graveyard sign, and like you said, the ticket booth is here, chained up. Because as you get close, it growls at you. So further kind of, I don't know how to say it, but if you remember Ravenswich, at the beginning, you go to take a ticket and it's a monster that chomps your hand. So the kind of like the master of the castle has captured that, chained it up, and has kept it for decades. Because he knows it could be dangerous because it's a monster. Yeah, because like you just said, it wouldn't really fit. There's no good place to put the graveyard sign or the ticket booth. I thought maybe at the bridge. It's kind of like, oh, start the haunted thing, and then it was kind of like, it felt too tropey. And when you made that bridge and the whole castle and everything just felt so real, I didn't want to put that in. I didn't want to make anything feel, I don't want to say too Disney or too theme park.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want this to feel that way, because you did such a good job making it feel so good. So before I hit the switch, I'll show the other thing locked up here is Aaron Winchesterson in a glass case floating. The last time we saw him was in one of the 2 endings of Ravenswich in the Eldritch world. So, again with Dr. Gideon, perhaps, or the master of this castle, who we don't know who it is, with their unreality experiments and stuff, apparently has rescued Aaron Winchesterson from the Eldritch world. I'll just say it that way. I won't allude to anything else. This is very clearly a portal in a arched doorway. Duh, glowing, yes. Particle effects. We've seen this symbol. We've seen it before in red in Ravenswich. It's the locked spell symbol. And Obviously, we are not the same people 50, 60 years ago who went through Ravenswich because we have not learned how to dispel that. Otherwise, we'd see a dispel rune. Also, it's weird because it's purple, implying that it might not be what we think it is. So here, foyer gate control. You labeled it. It's perfect. If you have any question what it is, I like to stand on this side because you made it well made so that you would stand here and watch it happen. That undoes that as well as the gate. So do you notice what's beyond? Does that look familiar? It's the lounge. But how could the lounge from the foyer be here, Delco? How could it be?
I don't know.
It's not possible. It's definitely not possible in Anyland. Wait, we're in Anyland. What have you done? What have you done? Whoops. That could have been bad. Anyway, I'll take a step in. Here we are. Oh. Wait a second. I just want to see it on camera. Oh, I missed it. The gate's going up. But anyway,
Yes.
we stepped in here. We ended up here. We're here. We were here the whole time, I guess. But now we're back at the foyer in the lounge. That's not possible. You can't do non-Euclidean portals in Anyland, or image portals.
Nope.
We even have to fake mirrors by making a fake room. So, what's going on?
Please sub things.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good thing we're near the end because I didn't expect this is going to go so long. On the hour chime. Amazing. I didn't think we'd even get... Wow. Okay, great. So yeah, you did the tricky thing. And we ended up here. And we did the gate control, which not only dispelled that portal, but also lowered the portcullis or whatever. I guess it raised it. So now we can go this way.
Wait.
Yeah, because we have to go downstairs first before we can...
I think we're on a delay. Something happened.
Oh!
I think you froze.
Did I freeze? Because I was...
There's like a voice delay now.
Oh. It seems okay. You seem okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing your voice on probably like a 20-second delay.
Okay, that's weird. I wonder how that could be. Alright, well, moving on. Yeah, this gate went up. So now you can see better past here. There's another locked door. Yep, can't go there. Notice it's glowy red or blood red. This is the last place you need a key for to go to. Some pillars. Let's go downstairs to the dungeon because that's where we're going to find the last key. So I'm going to go back here. Okay. So, note behind the stairs. Go here. Okay. So we end up here. Coming through here. And, yep. And you see Delco came down because everything's separated with teleport doors, and it is actually below exactly where we were. Abandon all hope, ye who enter. It's broken kind of gate, all twisted. Lots of blood. And this is, as some may recognize, an underground mod room. Just perfect dungeon. We already did dungeon rooms, so I just recreated it. Added the blood texture everywhere. Added a bunch of, needles and forceps and a bloody I almost said axe, but butcher's knife. Red lighting. And it just kind of, everything's creepy. This is the part of the castle that guests definitely don't go to. Door opens up. Oh, yes. And then we have skeletons, the creepy kinds with the jaws open, hanging. So clearly some sort of torture room leading to the dungeon. And mirror. Tappy glass. Door. Everything's mirrored, including the doors opening. To give you that sense of it actually is a mirror. Obviously, it's just a room on the other side. But I like doing these mirrors. I think it looks great. Open the door. Into another little room with a red light. And there's not much of visual interest in here at first. The Creeping Fear book, spiderwebs, a trunk again locked, MacGuffin's bloody hand, other MacGuffin's brain in a jar, yay. And if you come around here, you'll notice the switch. Flip the switch, and it opens a slide door. This door actually goes that way before it slides, just for more visual interest. So we come in, and now we know we're in the dungeon. Oh, I looked at this guy. Oh, I looked at him too fast. Dungeon. So there are these cells. This guy had a body, and when looked at, the body just falls into the blood. This kind of thing and these pillars, I have a Doom level that Jinx Mansion is based on that I did something very similar. So this whole space feels very doomy to me because I recreated some of that. Another side note, I know off the bat, if you had the MacGuffin in your hand that dispels those monster books, some of these pillars will not be here. And it just makes this path more open and more friendly, let's just say. Less windy. So we'll wind through here. Ooh, skeleton dude. Hanging by ropes that he's, wrapped up in. Okay, chains. Nice, because you have to go through them. Oh, yeah. Here's a guy. Blindfold Ravenswich style. Ravenswich robes. Chained up. Nice, nice. So, yeah, this wouldn't be here, I think. You come in here, and here's a real torture room. Real torture room. I mean, guy hung by the ceiling. Cages. People in cages. Heads in cages. Bloody guys on pikes, which is very much inspired from the original Doom. With guys on pikes. Great for the blood to pour through. People being hung, and more body parts. Heart, eyeball, brain, buzzsaw, more chains, another head. Just stuff. Ooh, 2 hands. And this is weird because these hands, the chains go through the arms. So it's not like somebody was here and then their arms ripped off. The arms are hung, so that's weird. A barrel that's open with blood and things floating in it. So, yeah. This way, real quick, another hanging guy. This guy slowly rotates, hung by the neck. This is broken out and has a tendril and more of that goo and weirdness and eyes. Weird stuff in Ravenswich, what the hell. And a door. Door locked. And you can see there's more. There's a guy swinging, hanging, and it goes down that way around the corner. There's nothing there, but again, to imply that there's more. We'll go back here. So 2 things. That, I'll show in the other video, leads up to the kitchen. And that is another way back to the foyer. Shortcut, alternate way. Delco did this guy who's hanging upside down. Broken leg, scratches as a texture. As if while he was upside down, he was scratching at the ground in anguish. Oh God, terrible. Castellan's cat is back to help guide you and let you know which wing is the best way to go. The intended path, anyway. So you come through here. This guy with his guts literally hanging out. Nasty. This guy, hooked by his head and held back and looked like, yeah. This is broken out with blood trail. What the hell was in here is going to be your question. So, shovel in the dirt, because note it's dirt and there's dirt here. Come in here. Yeah, I did say a long time ago I was never going to make more caves in the underground style because I made so many I was tired of it. And here we are. Same exact caves, underground style. Bloody wooden pillar this time. Coffin. More bloody pillars, caves. Ladder. So we'll go that way. But before that, another thing. You can't go in there, but there are more coffins. And it seems like this is the place where the master tortures people and then, buries them. Yeah. So, yeah. We will go here. I'm going to keep the candle with me. At the... No, I can't look up, can I? Oh, it's so far up. I'm going to climb this ladder all the way up. And at the top, a step in is the best... This world basically doesn't have jump scares much. It is a huge jump scare, and it's loud. So we're climbing. We're still climbing. This is how long it is. And also, it's realistic. We went down and we went down again, I think, and now we're up, so we're back at the ground level. So we get up behind the walls. So I love that guy. It's personal, little jump for him. It's a jump scare. He's big. He's oversized because he's... we haven't done jump scares in this world that much, so I want to do a really good one. Something as big. The pumpkin guy we've seen in Ravenswich towards the end, and in this next... The third of the Ravenswich trilogy, pumpkin, specter, monster dude is relevant. So this... You hadn't had a jump scare this whole time. You weren't expecting anything. You were just coming up the ladder. The ladder is so long you might actually get a little bored going up it. Definitely desensitizes you. So anyway, you come here, Ravenswich, the new logo. The logo, and then, yeah, bars, and what might be a window, but it's kind of boarded up. A knife switch, so let's hit it. Comes down, and then you see that door. And you see over there comes down. And a key. Oh, it's tethered. And it's got the same symbol as the door. Okay. If we look in... Yeah, okay, so we came back up, did we? And actually, we didn't come back up. I recreated that hallway. And I'm going to go down here. I think it's tricky. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, okay. It's easier to go down because, yeah. I'm just going to run through... Backtrack. Whoa, this way. Make sure you... Oh, cool. Okay. So, just run through here. Normally, I like to take the kitchen to get back through, but I'll show that off in the second video. I'm just gonna run through here. Run through here. Cool. Going back up. And here, okay. Yep, we're gonna go back up here. Okay. So, that's not one-way see-through, because that's real. It's really a pillar. It's architecture. I recreated this whole hallway for that other sequence. The switch that lowers this so you can see through and lowers this also lowers this on the other side down there. Also lowers this so you can grab it. Now this key's different. Notice it still has purple particle effect so that, video game, you need to grab it. It's tethered to this hook. It's not going to show up. You don't collect it. You don't put it in your inventory. It's not going to show up down there because the only place you need it, red, four eyes, is there. So I'm going to grab it. Oops. Oh, right. It's movable, so you have to hold trigger. Yep, stretch it to here, right? Unlock and let go. Go through. All right, we're here. This is Delco's final tower. So it's a final sequence. Yeah, so that's locked. A bloody purple glove. Who do we know who wore purple gloves earlier? Yeah. Just decor. And I'll preset it, sell it, but in the foyer, you can always hear a very light thump sound. And it's a little louder here.
I don't know if it shows up on the video.
I hope it does, because I could hear it when we were in there, but I didn't want to point it out yet until we got to here. Do you want to lead us?
Sure.
Okay.
There's been like a voice delay, but it's been getting better slowly over the past few minutes.
It seems like it
down
might
to
be
like
better.
3 seconds between something you do and hearing you.
Okay.
It's like 3 or 5 seconds.
Okay.
Ish.
Yeah, yours seems to be normal for me, which is good for the video.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, I broke pretty much one of the main rules of VR with this, but having a single turn in a direction multiple times in a row.
That's right.
Giant lantern.
Yep. Huge. Huge.
And now you're starting to hear the thumping.
Yep. Yep.
Becomes
Boom.
sort of this klaxon thing.
Yes.
It sounds sort of like an alarm.
It does. First I thought maybe heartbeat, but now, yeah, it definitely has more of an alarm vibe to it. There. Oh, now we have a cane in
Slowly
blood.
transitioned.
As we
Oh,
keep
yeah.
going up and up and up. We're at the top.
Another glove. With some
Oh, another purple glove and blood. Candlets out. Some candy
And-
corn. Right. Right. Castellan's mask. And more blood. So that's probably not good for him. We come in here. And this was kind of the throne room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who's this? Castellan! Dead. Not just dead, but being that he's skeletal, very dead, long time dead, and all messed up. I really liked in Bloodborne at Cathedral Ward. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in one of our previous videos. Oh, House of Haunted Witch Trials with the brick that blocks out. I liked in Bloodborne Cathedral Ward, there's a locked door. And if you go and use the door, you hear a voice from the other side of the door say something. And then you have to go through Cathedral Ward doing stuff, and you get the key. And when you come back and open the door, what you find on the other side of the door is a skeleton in a chair who's in cobwebs, I think, and he's been clearly dead a very long time. And there's no way he could have been talking to you. So I like that little unreality freakish bit. So you saw Castellan in the beginning. He introduced you and welcomed you in. Then he gave you the hint for that one room with the monster books. Ooh, I didn't realize that faded. That was cool. Oh, and the particle effect, yeah. Anyway,
Oh, yeah.
the whole idea is that Castellan that you met and saw and talked to is a ghost or a projection. He's been dead.
Mhm.
All this time he's been dead. So anyway, yeah. So that's one little revelation, because what else did we want to do? The heartbeat that turned into the thumbing, that turned into the klaxons of the alarm, leads you here, the other side of the throne room. Some windows, because we're at the top of a tower, so it should go outside. But something's broken in the wall. And this static is Starfisher portal-like. It doesn't seem real. And that's literally a rotating red warning light. And we've seen red lights other places here before. Where are we? Let me step in. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no. Where are we? Wait, where did we come from? Where did my candle go? Where are we? Lift systems. Compromised. What's going on? Primary system failure. A door of some sort. Oh, yes, what is that? Oh, no. What is that? The door's opening. Where are we? With a gasp. I love it. So that was awesome, just to explain as we close out that with all the unreality and the time travel and the portals and stuff, that portal rips into a space station that is clearly under attack or otherwise broken. Things are not right. It's been assaulted. And the alarms are on, the warning alarms, danger. Things are probably on lockdown. And you can explore, and there was that holographic note you can read, and it basically tells you things are going down. And that airlock door at the end, when looked at, there's a pause. I remember you scripted a pause. And then the air, it starts to open and air starts venting out. When it opens all the way, it teleports you into an all-black void somewhere out there. And that is supposed to ostensibly let you know that you've been sucked out into the airlock. And I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously that was a preview of what we've been working on. the third of the Ravenswich trilogy
Right.
takes place on a haunted space station in the future. But it's still Ravenswich trilogy. It's still part of this trilogy, the world, the universe, everything, the Ravenswich lore. Yeah, same lore, same canon, everything. Yeah, I don't. Did you want to say anything specific about it? Because I know you made all that.
No, I mean that sort of
That whole
seeded the
ending.
design philosophy for the space station.
That's
that
it.
one room.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, that's right. Because when we were talking about the ending, and you wanted the whole huge tower that you made in the throne room, I had prototyped an idea for a holodeck. That's it. Because we were going to come into the throne room sideways. I was going to do line of sight tricks with just a path you can only walk on. And then there'd be an arch. The holodeck Star Trek arch. Just the arch. But beyond it was going to be a space station corridors. Like you would open the arch doors. Right. And then when you walked into the throne room, you wouldn't have been able to see that because line of sight would have been tricky. So when you turned to look down that and saw the arch, you'd open the doors and then it would be a space station. And you'd be like, wait, because there would still have illusionarily been part of the throne room before you got that part. So it would have felt like a holodeck because it would have been in space that couldn't be in. And we kind of, at the end of Ravenswich, sold the idea that everything could be still in a holodeck. So, but then, yeah, you ran with the space station stuff straight away, and it's just perfect. And that, like, broken out portal-y thing. Brilliant. I love it. So, yeah, you're right. That really seeded what we did next, which, to be completed and released. Because we wanted to do something different. And I know a number of people wanted to see a haunted space station, and we were like, it's not what we're doing. But then we had the idea of how to work it into the lore of Ravenswich and stuff, so it became a new challenge for us, which is why it took so long, I think. That, whatever. It's cool. So, let me see. Let me switch this to my point of view here. Give it a second, because I know I'm trying to see it. Yeah. So it comes back to us so that we can do the little outro that we like to do. Yeah, so thank you for watching. This has been Castle Ravenswich, the first video. There should be a second video after this where touring the other wing, the other main wing. How did I do that?
Wing.
Literally. I'm hitting all my buttons. There we go. I haven't worn this avatar in a while, so we got wing. Good pun, not intentional. Yeah, the other video I want to do for showing the other wing that we didn't get to in the downstairs, plus some of the extra things like the music room and that fireplace room with the secret back entrances to places, and a couple of ways the kitchen you can zigzag and get back. So yeah, thank you for watching. Come here, enjoy, explore. It is fun, especially if you're like just you and one other person kind of thing, and you play this like you would almost like a metroidvania, because there are locked doors and there are ways to get to and from places, and you can share the keys and that stuff, and that one MacGuffin that'll dispel some of the spooks, and a little bit of architecture changes. Yeah, so have a good evening.